Hi everybody! So this is part 2 of Yoga for Scuba Divers. Now I believe that even if you're not a scuba diver, I think these are the muscles that we will be focusing on and use every single day that tend to get quite tight. So if you're not a scuba diver, don't worry about it. I hope that it will be helpful for your practice. We'll be focusing on psoas, IT bands, latissimus dorsi, rhomboids, intercostal muscles, and a group of hamstrings. So let's get started. So let's start in simple sitting. Just take a moment to connect to your breath. Everything is done with an intention. And when you're ready, let's come on to your all fours, hands and knees. Starting with the cat-cow stretch. As you inhale, look forward. And as you exhale, tuck your tailbone, round your upper back, and head is the last to come down. Inhale, lift your tailbone, belly sways, shoulders open. And exhale once again, tailbone first, mid-back, upper back, and your head. Keep going, inhale. Round your upper back, pull your navel in. Inhale once again. And exhale, separate your shoulder blades. Now come back to your neutral. And stretch out your right leg behind. As you inhale, you're going to take that right leg out to your right. Touch the ground with your toes. Exhale, look over your left shoulder and take it over to your left. Inhale, come back to your right. And exhale, look over your left shoulder. Inhale to your right. And exhale. Now we're going to take it all the way to your right again. And exhale to your left. Now this time stay here for a little while longer. Feel the stretch. And then come back to your center, back to your tabletop. Switch to the other side. Try not to sway your belly, but pull your navel in. Left leg over to your left as you inhale. As you exhale, take it over to your right. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale back to your left. And exhale to your right. Inhale back to your left again. Exhale to your right. Inhale to your left. Exhale to your right. Now you're going to hold it here. Keep breathing. And then let's pick up your left leg. Back to your tabletop. As you inhale, look forward. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, belly sways, shoulders stay wide open. Exhale, pull your navel in. Inhale again. And exhale. Now come back to your neutral. Step your right foot forward into your low lunge. Take your back knee further back and let your right knee stay above your right ankle. We'll be starting our diagonal stretch. So let's lift your back knee off the ground. Right arm just outside of your right side of the mat. Left arm reaches up and over. Exhale, send it back towards your hips. Inhale, left arm up and over. Exhale. Inhale, reach. And exhale. Inhale, reach up and over. Feel the stretch. Hold it here. As you exhale, come back to the floor. Bring your back knee slightly more forward. Let's do a twist. Left hand stays, right hand to your right knee. Lengthen, and as you exhale, twist to your right. Think of your front side of your body opening up to the ceiling. And when you're ready, come back to the floor. Bring your back knee further forward. Come on up onto your knee. Right hand to your right hip. Inhale, lift your left arm up. As you exhale, lean over to your right. You probably feel a big stretch in the front side of your left hip. And exhale, come back to the floor. Let's stretch it out. Straighten your right leg. Open your chest forward. Just enough that you feel that stretch in your hamstrings, your calf muscles. And let's bend your right knee. Step back, downward facing dog. Try the second side. Come on up to your tabletop. Step your left foot forward. Take your back knee further back. Just stay here for a few more breaths, just opening up your hips. Shoulders stay wide open. Stay here and let your hips sink in. Really breathing into the tightest part of your body. And let's do the diagonal stretch. Left arm to your left. Right arm reaches up and over. And exhale, bring your arm back. Inhale, reach. And exhale. Inhale, reach. Now you might have noticed as you do this that I kept my back knee down for this side. You can do either lifted knee or knee down to the ground. You can also double up or put a cushion underneath your back knee if your back knee hurts. Let's come back to the floor. Let's do a twist. Left hand to your left knee and open your chest to your left. Take a few deep breaths here. Let's bring your hands to the ground. I'm going straight into the single leg stretch, skipping the side stretch that we did in the first side. So if you want to do that, go ahead and you can do the side stretch, or like me, you can go asymmetrical for a change and we can go straight into the single leg stretch. Bend your left knee, move forward. Step your right foot forward into Uttanasana, forward bend. As you grab your elbows, bend your knees generously so that your belly can come straight onto your thighs. You can wiggle side to side or forward and front slightly. And bring your fingertips to the ground. Inhale, look forward. As you exhale, fold down. Bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, lift to your chest. And exhale, fold. Just a little pulsing. Inhale, lift. Open your chest and fold forward. Lift, inhale, straight spine. And fold again. Another inhale. This time bring your hands to your hips. Slowly come all the way up to a standing. Keeping your legs strong, inhale, reach your arms up. grab your left wrist with your right hand. As you exhale, lean over to your right side. Now if you like, you can drag your left toes back so you start to feel all the stretch on left side of your body. Keep your chest open and breathe here. Inhale, come back up. Let's switch to the opposite side. Reach your arms up again, grab your right wrist, lean over to your left as you drag your right toes back. Now take a long breath in, and breathe out. As you inhale, come back up and release your arms. Come to the top of the mat. Straight legs, lift your chest, hands to your heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Open your feet about hip width apart. Use your peace fingers, your index and middle fingers to grab your big toes. As you inhale, look forward with your chest. As you exhale, drape your belly on top of your thighs. Elbows are pointed out to the sides. And stay here. As you lift your shoulders, just the shoulders up towards your hips are trying to lift up towards the ceiling, but without separating your belly and your thighs. Your head and your neck are relaxed. Now let's come into your downward facing dog with your hands to the ground. Lift your sitting bones high. With your next inhalation, come onto your high plank and lower slowly onto the ground, all the way down to your belly. We'll be doing a variation of locust pose. Hands into Yoga Mudra, interlace your fingers, palms pressed together. As you lift your chest, lift your legs off the ground and start moving your legs one at a time as though you're swimming. Scuba diving instructors are always encouraging us to keep your legs straight as you kick. So imagine you're moving your legs from your hips like a mermaid. Your knees don't bend and you keep straight legs as you move. It's surprisingly harder when you think about it. Now when you're ready, reach your arms out to the sides like you're flying. And then reach your arms forward. The whole time you're keeping stable back here. And when you're ready, slowly lower down to the ground. Rest your forehead on your hands. Okay, so we're ready for another variation of locust pose. We'll be using a strap. You could use a belt or anything long, if you like, scarf. And you're gonna wrap it around the big toe mount of your feet. So it might be a little bit difficult to put it on. Hopefully it's worth it. It's helpful to grab both ends of your strap, and then as you move into the pose, you push the feet into the strap. Kind of like a Superman pose. I don't know why, but I find this pose really satisfying to do. Now you can hang out here for a few more breaths, really keeping your legs straight and strong, otherwise your strap will come off of it. And when you're ready, slowly lower down. You can let go of your belt out of the way. Rest your forehead once again. We'll be coming into a variation of Dhanurasana bow pose. grab your ankles with your hands, point your toes towards the back of the mat, keeping the really good grip on your hands. First, we'll be doing a slightly different version. So keeping your thighs on the ground, you're just gonna pulse up slightly and come down. Pulse up again and come back down. Continue this movement for a little while as you keep your thighs planted to the floor. So your thighs are really not moving the floor. And hold it here and slowly come back down to the floor. Keep the good grip in your hands. This time you're going to come up into full Dhanurasana, lifting your thighs off the ground. Use your shins, your leg strength to lift your chest as you push your shins into your hands. Keep breathing now. I'd like you to breathe and see if you can rock back and forth. This is one of the things that you can do to train your diaphragm so that you have a better air consumption rate. And when you're ready, you can release, slowly come back down. Bend your knees and just rock your feet side to side. Gently releasing any tensions from your lower back to your mid back. Lower your feet to the ground, hands underneath your shoulders, and slowly come back up. We'll be using a mat that are rolled up already. Hopefully they're tightly rolled up. If you don't have it, you can use a pillow or cushion, and you're going to place them right where your psoas are, just under your hip joints. Now I'd like you to watch the movement around my hip flexors, around my hips. Opening your shoulders wide, inhale here, and as you exhale, pull your navel in, point your tailbone towards your knees. Inhale, let your belly sway, and exhale, pull your navel in. But you're not really rounding your back as you do this. You're really using your breath and your rolled up mats to access psoas and releasing them. Let's keep going for a few more breaths here. Pulling them in as you exhale. And as you inhale, really let go and relax. Softening into the rolled up mat. This is really a breath-inspired movement. So focus on what it feels like in each inhalation and exhalation. And when you drop down your belly, really let go. And you can stay here for a few more breaths. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, slowly come back up, remove your mats out of the way, have a seat on your feet, right hand behind you, left hand to your right knee, and twist to your right. Keeping your chest open in this pose. You'll notice how I'm not twisting my hips to do this. I'm simply moving my belly, chest, and shoulders towards my right. And let's switch to the opposite side. Right hand to your knee, turn to your left. Deep, rhythmic breath. we'll be moving into a different variation of this twist. So take the last few breaths here and slowly come back to the center. We'll be moving on to the first side, left hand on your knee, rounding just the upper back. So when you're inhaling, you feel a slight stretch at the back of your shoulder wings. You can look down. You notice how I'm not rounding my entire back, just the upper back. Slowly come back to the center, switch to the opposite side, rounding your, once again, upper back. Scuba diver or not, we talk a lot about breathing. And when we talk about breathing, automatically we do a lot of back bends. But what we haven't really done a whole lot of is stretching the back side of our lungs. It's a little counterintuitive if you're an experienced yogi, because we're constantly taught to open our chest. Slowly come back to the center. Have a few breaths. And we'll be moving on to a seated single-legged forward bend. You're going to stretch out your left leg towards the front, right foot to your inner thigh. You can use your belt. I'm a big fan of props, so I love as many props as possible. You can use a belt or scarf or whatever you have, keeping your back fairly straight. Left leg, your entire left leg is planted down to the ground as you move your chest forward. Now check out your lower back. If you're like me and your hamstrings are a little tight and you start to round your lower back, you can grab that rolled up mat, have a seat on the edge of that so that your pelvis can tilt forward. Wrap your strap around your foot and once again, move forward. I like to stay exactly where I feel just enough stretch here, so I'm not pushing too much, I'm not pulling too much, my shoulders are not coming out of my joints, and I can keep my steady breath. Let's remove your strap out of the way. Plant your right foot to the ground. You can come off with a rolled up mat if you're using it. Right hand behind. Inhale, lift your left arm up, hook your left elbow outside of your knee, and once again, inhale, lengthen, open your chest. As you exhale, twist to your right. And let's slowly unwind. Switch to the opposite side. I'm going to be using my rolled up mat once again. You don't have to. Left knee is bent, right leg is long. Place your belt around your big toe mount. And when you're ready, as you exhale, hinge forward. My right leg stays active, so that means my big toe mount is pressing into the belt. If you're an anatomy geek, I'm somewhere between dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. But otherwise, just remember to press your foot towards your belt, keeping your chest open, and breathe. Inhale, let's slowly come back up. We'll be moving into the seated twist. Right leg still stays straight. Left foot planted. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling. As you exhale, hook your right elbow and turn to your left. Notice how I keep my right leg active. I gotta say, I got scared a little bit. I'm might have missed one side again, but I did not. You don't have to be always perfect at everything. You can do one side and then forget that the other side existed, and it's not going to kill you. Of course, you want to do both sides, but if you forget, not a big deal. Let's come back to the center. First variation of a butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. Feet fairly close to your pelvis and fold forward. If your knees are a little higher than your belt line, you might want to come onto those roll-up mats or cushions so that your seat is lifted and you don't have to fold forward all the way. You can just stay up and keep your straight spine. As you inhale, let's come back up, off to the second variation of Baddha Konasana. This is derived from Yin Yoga, feet away from you, and you can choose how deep you want to go with this. The farther your feet are away from you, the deeper this gets. For those of you who had your knees higher than your belt line, this might be a better option as there's less pressure on your lower back. Next inhalation, let's slowly come back up. Bring your knees together and lie down on your back. Straighten left leg on the floor, grab your strap or scarf, place it around your right foot. You can either keep your left leg straight or you can bend your knee and plant your left foot to the ground. Just have a neutral curve in your spine so that you're not pressing your entire spine onto the ground. Hold your belt with both hands and see if you can bring your big toe a little closer towards your face, a millimeter at a time. Start a different variation. Bend your right knee all the way to your chest so you glue your belly and your thigh together. Then grab both sides of your foot, your right foot, or keep holding onto the belt. And your job is to keep your thigh and your belly together as you bring your big toe towards your face. Most people won't be able to completely straighten your right leg in this pose. So that's okay, no big deal. And then you're gonna straighten your right leg once again. Grab a hold of your belt with your left hand as you move your right leg towards your left, just enough so that your right hip still stays on the ground. Then turn your right inner heel towards your face. Then reach your right arm towards your right, go into a full twist. Keep both shoulders on the ground and look towards your right shoulder. Long, deep, steady breath. As you inhale, let's bring your leg back up. Switch to the opposite side. Right leg is long on the ground. First straight leg stretch. You can grab a hold of your belt with both hands and bring your big toe a little closer towards your face. As you stay here, try to keep both shoulders on the ground. Okay, let's do a variation of this. Bend your left knee into your chest. Grab a hold of your foot or your belt. As you try to bring your left big toe towards your face without lifting your left thigh off your belly, you start to feel kind of an involuntary shake. That's quite normal as well, and just know that if that happens, you've hit the right spot. Let's straighten your left leg. Grab a hold of your belt with your right hand. Lift thumb into your left inner thigh just to keep reminding your hips to stay on the ground as you move your left leg towards your right. Then turn your left heel, inner heel towards your face just slightly. This is a really good stretch for what's called IT bands, which is a big tendon that runs alongside your left thigh. Reach your left arm towards your left as you come into a full twist. Look towards your left shoulder and breathe here. Lying twist on the ground is really one of the safest way to do a twist, and it's such a necessary part of any sports activity. So I never ever skip lying twist when I'm teaching sport enthusiasts. As you inhale, let's slowly come back up. Remove your strap out of the way. Grab a cushion or a rolled up mat once again. Place it under your sacrum, just underneath your hips, not your lower back. Straighten your leg on the ground, toes are lifted. If you like to go deeper into this pose, you can use a yoga block, choosing different heights, or stack up thick books to intensify the stretch in the front side of your body, especially the front side of your hips, which is exactly where psoas run through. Keep breathing here. When you're ready, bend your knees, feet to the ground, lift your hips off. You can remove your mats or cushion out of the way for a moment. Bend your knees into your chest and place your hands on your knees. And you can start to circle your knees or go side to side. Just releasing some of the tensions that you may have in the lower back or even mid-back. And let's stretch out your legs. If you like, rolled up mats under your knees to give a little bit of relief in your lower back, you can do that. And we're ready for final pose, Shavasana. Let go of all tensions in your body. The corners of your eyes, your jaw, your shoulders are relaxed. Your palms may be looking up to the ceiling. And just bring your breath back to natural rhythm. There's no more need to control or force anything. You can stay here however long you like, or you can start to wiggle your toes and fingers. And you can slowly start to reach your arms above your head and stretch out your entire body. And eventually bend your knees into your chest, roll over to your right side. There's no rush here. Take a moment. When you are ready, press down to the ground, slowly come up to your simple sitting, the first pose we started with. Once again, take a moment to appreciate the time that you've taken for yourself. Bring your hands to your heart center. This is self-care. This is self-responsibility. This is self-love. Bring your thumbs to your forehead and bow down to your own practice.